Hello and welcome to the first Wrfl Internet television show for 2011. I'm Kevin Hillier. This is Steve Tom. The season's come around quick.
It's come around quick, mate. 2011, we're already well into nearly a third of it already, and it's just been fantastic.
Yeah, we're recording this tonight at the Tigers Clubhouse in Werribee, the social venue of the Werribee Football Club, and a great supporter of the Wrfl as well. On the 2nd of May, so we've had 3 rounds of Division 1 football, 4 rounds of Division 2 football at this stage. We've got a couple of sides still undefeated in both competitions, Deer Park in Division 2, yep. Spotswood and St Albans in Division 1. What's been your thoughts on the season up to date, Tom?
I think it's been exciting. I think the closeness of the games have been the most important things. We talk about the top sides, but a lot of the bottom sides in Division 2 especially have improved, and Division 1 they've made inclusion of a lot of new players, and I think that's a bonus. And some sides that have been down for a little while are now getting up there.
Absolutely. One of the most exciting things obviously about the start of this season was round 1, and Division 2 started a week earlier than Division 1, and the emergence of Caroline Springs as a new club in the competition, and even better, a winning club in their first game.
Yeah, unfortunately for Braybrook, Caroline Springs rolled them, but what a great day, what a great atmosphere it was up at Caroline Springs that day. We had the game.
The town centre oval.
Yeah, fantastic. The crowd there, the weather was perfect, and it was a great day for them to start their Western Region Football League senior debut.
No, it's been fantastic. We'll go through later in the program some of the details of the Interleague coming up for the juniors. That kicks off obviously mostly during June, but they've got their training starting this week actually, I think, for most of the Interleague squads. Also going to be talking to Nathan Evans from the Wyndham Vale Falcons. We're going to talk to Jimmy Kondos. James is back in the WRFL, obviously as playing coach of the Deer Park Footy Club. They're undefeated at the moment. He's kicked 43 goals, so pretty happy boy. And one of the big names, and we've got a lot of big names that have come into the competition this year, with Simon Wiggins, with Aaron Henneman at St Albans, and Jason Cloak at Spotswood. Yeah,
great to have him. Great to have all of them in the competition, make no mistake. But what a great asset for Spotswood and for the Western Region Football League. And I've got to say, a nice bloke too, Jason Cloak. When we do get to meet him, we spoke to him off air, and very, very good personality.
Yeah, so we do the intro before we do everything else. We'll come back after this and we'll talk. We'll meet Jason Cloak. We'll see what he's like, see what impact the WRFL's had on him and what he's had on the WRFL. That's after this. Welcome back to the WRFL Internet TV show. I'm Kevin Hillier, with me Steve Tom, and our first guest on the program for this year, Tomsy, is one of the stars of the competition, Jason Clark. Hello, mate.
Thanks for having us, guys.
It's fantastic to have you in the competition. And how did we get you in the competition?
Mate, it was pretty easy in the end. I had enough of playing Wrfl footy in the end and wanted somewhere close to home, and knew a few boys down at Spotswood, and they got me down there more or less. I wanted somewhere close to home, and it worked out well.
Yeah. Now, haven't you got an affiliation with Justin Dord? Are you related to Justin?
Yeah, my wife's brother.
Okay, there you go.
So, yeah.
JD's been one of the really good players in this competition for the Albion Footy Club.
Mate, you've walked into a club down at Spotswood, success as 3 of the last 4 premierships, and been a very successful club over a few decades. How have you found that straight away, as an assistant coach as well?
Yeah, no, it's been good. Like I said, I knew Spotswood had a good history of being up there in the finals. I don't want to finish my footy getting beaten by 30, 40 goals each week. I want to enjoy my footy, and they've been going well, so made it quite easy. And they're a good side, good offside footy club, what I wanted to be involved in. Meet a few more people in the area, coming from the eastern suburbs now over the western suburbs. Didn't know a lot of people on this side of town, so it was good. I've known a few guys there from Williamstown, where they used to go back and play local footy, so I used to go watch them there and go to a few of their functions. So I knew what the club was like and knew they had a good culture and played good football, so made it quite easy in the end when they said, "Do you want to play?" And I said, "Oh, why not?"
Yeah. Just on that, Clokey, for the short time you've been there, Spots would have got a wealth of juniors that have come through the system, which they would have told you about, and you would have seen a few of them this year and kids from last year. Any more that are coming through from the under-18s? I know you touched on a few, I think, on the weekend that had run.
Yeah, we've got a few guys been playing up in the under-18s, and I know during pre-season, like December, November, there was always 30-odd under-18s always down there doing training as well. So I think they had nearly 40-odd under-18s at one stage, so it was getting hard to get a spot. So when you got those guys coming through, and there's been a few guys we've blooded this year into the ones already been playing senior footy, so it's good, and it's amazing I've never played local footy before in my life, so seeing guys come through and how much they want to play for the club and enjoy the football, and just young kids, and there's a lot of guys where you probably don't see them and you're thinking, shoot, that guy should be playing Williamstown or playing in a reps side of football. He's got a lot of talent, and not seeing him get used, and then he's playing ones and dominating the ones, and you're thinking, well, this kid's actually got a bit.
There's a wealth of talent.
It's good.
Has the talent and the level of the standard of the footy surprised you?
Yeah, it was probably the first few weeks. It was a bit hard for myself to get to know the football and how it's played, and it's like I said, we've played probably 3 or 4. They've said the better sides in the competition at the moment, and the quality of the football's been grouse. And speaking to even with Justin Dorwood, as you said before, and he said the quality of football's grouse, and he went and played up at Chuka last year and said from what this football is to what his is, he found it a lot more easy up the country than what it is in this. So it's probably a good thing for the competition, saying that this is as good or better than a lot of the country leagues, and so it's been good and enjoying it.
I suppose one of the other things too, Clokey, the passion of the crowd. Now, opposition crowds, I mean, you get to hear them just a little bit more at local football because they do hang on the fence. You're thick skin, you got to. I mean, you're going to cop. You're a high-profile player, high-profile personality.
I've had it all my life, especially playing Wrfl footy. You go up and play in Frankston, and they got the bongo drums on the hill. You go off and have a rest on the bench, and you probably cop a stubby in the back of the head. So, mate, I had it since I was playing junior footy, and it's. When I'm out there, to be honest, I don't actually hear a lot of it. So I've got pretty thick skin. It's nothing I haven't heard or seen or copped before. So that's not so bad.
In terms of the coaching part of it, what are you hoping to get out of that? I mean, are you hoping that'll take you to footy in future days, or what do you want to get out of that?
I had a fair bit to do at Wrfl footy last year with Bendigo, with Shannon Grant, with developing of players and different things. So I just want to, at the moment, like I said, when I went to Spotswood and said, I want to be involved. I'm going to be involved anyway in training and having my say and trying to give some experience to different players and that, what I've learned in football. And they said, well, we'd love to have you as assistant coach to teach the boys, to take training drills, to give us training drills and help with selection. And so that's where it came about, and they said, well, we want you to be an assistant coach and give you input if you're going to do it anyway, so we'd like to have you there. And just worked out to be what I wanted, and eventually where I want to finish playing footy. I'm 28 at the moment, and probably 4 or 5 years down the track where I'd like to do some coaching and develop it a little bit more. So it's a good little foot in the door at the moment. And
absolutely. Good taste.
And just the role you've been playing, we've seen you against Albion a few weeks ago, and you drifted from the wing, across that half-back line, pushed forward. You got a bit of a free licence, as I could sort of said, look, just let's play it by ear as we go, quarter by quarter, game by game.
I think it's more just to do with the body. If I feel good, I'll play up on the wing. If I feel a bit sore, I'll go down back or up forward. He's more or less just said that, like I said, it's always good being an assistant coach too. You get to say a bit more where you want to play. So he just judges it, and with how the side's going, if I work better, if there's someone getting on top of us up forward, or for them, I can go down back and play there, or play on the wing. If I play it forward, the majority of the game so far, I have someone following me wherever I go. So it doesn't really matter if I start on the wing, push forward, he's going to follow me wherever. So just to have a bit of fun and run around and
enjoy
get to know the footy first, then see where the spot just opens up. So I think we had a couple of injuries where we missed a couple of wingers being out injured. So just open that spot up for the moment and just blooding a few guys down the half back and trying a few different guys to run through. So just trying different blokes to see where they fit.
After 10 years of footy at a very good level, how is the body?
Yeah, the body's actually pretty good, to be honest. It's pretty hard at the moment. I've just had a little boy not long ago, so the sleep's been deprived and running my own business and running a few guys. So it's more worrying about that than body's been good, and back to 2 nights a week training's even better for me. Yeah. So instead of 3 nights and you're there to 9, 10 o'clock, if you start at 6 and you finished off the track by 7:30, I said, you get there and you're like, well, that it? I'm just getting more marks. So it's been good that way.
Mate, it's a pleasure, obviously, for Spotswood, but for the Western Region Football League to have you in the competition. Absolutely. And we look forward to seeing you more this year and hopefully for the next 5 to 10 years, mate, in this competition in some sort of role.
At the moment, I'm enjoying it, and hopefully it'll go right and enjoy it.
Thanks for being our first guest of the year on the internet TV show, the World Wide Web. They can watch you anywhere. We even actually let Collingwood people watch this program if they want to. Your brother's going well.
Yeah, Trav's been going all right. I think it's just he's relaxed a lot more this year. I
Yep.
think he's bought a house and moving out soon in Richmond. He's got a few motorbikes, bought a few more cars and different things. So he's just enjoying life. And
He's
I think it
struggling,
just
obviously.
shows.
Yeah, struggling off the park, obviously.
Yeah, well, obviously. So yeah.
Good on you. Great to have you in the competition, and we look forward to seeing a lot more of you in the coming weeks and months in the WRFL. We're going to come back and talk to Jimmy Kondos from the Deer Park Footy Club next. Welcome back to the WRFL Internet TV show. I'm Kevin Hillier, with me Steve Tom, and our next guest on our first program for season 2011 is the playing coach of the Deer Park Football Club, James Kondos. G'day, Jim.
G'day, Kev, Tomsy.
Jimmy, how are you, mate?
Mate,
Good to
welcome
meet
back.
Thanks, mate.
You went away for a few years, and you Bulldogs, Werribee, and where else did you play?
Played up
Keilor?
Keele and
Keilor?
Crichton,
Yeah.
Bendigo League last year.
And what got you back to Deer Park?
I'll probably have to put it down to Mark McGoldrick. You know, he was hassling me throughout the year, and I kept ringing me. I said, listen, mate, I'm not interested. Just leave me alone.
Yep.
Division 2, wasn't a big rap on it. And then after the season, had a really good think about it. Good coaching opportunity, especially with my dad as well. And
Yep.
knew few people to jump on board with me as well, which made the decision a lot easier. So we took it from there in November and started recruiting, and so far so good.
Season started with a bang when you got 43 goals. As we record this on the 2nd of May, we've had 4 rounds of Division 2 and you're up to 43 goals already.
Yeah, I'll put it down to good midfield at the
Yep.
moment. Team structures is all going well and just makes it easier playing the forward line. Got a couple of good forwards, Timmy Clinic and Lee Cook
Yep.
down there, so it makes the job a lot easier.
Jimmy, just a coach and role, mate. Obviously, playing coach, you need a good bench, assistant coaches. Your dad's one of them. Who else you got running the bench for you?
I've got Rodney Callahan, he's from Keilor.
Yep.
He's played in 6 A-grade premierships along the way, coached me at Keilor and Old Essendon as well for a year.
Yep.
So the information and the structures and the experience that he brings to the coaching is just outstanding. Just makes my job a lot easier at game day. Obviously, Nick is me co-coach as well,
Yeah.
and Rodney there as well. Just makes the job a lot easier.
I was going to say between those two, there's a few years of experience amongst them. They know what it's about. They know when to pull the right strings of players and when not to pull the right strings.
Definitely, with my dad as well, he knows when to give the good old spray when
Yeah.
the boys are needed. Just got to make sure that the boys don't get complacent and just stick to the processes and the procedures, and
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll do all right this year.
You've had some fair coaches in your footy career over the years, so who have you taken the most out of in what you are now doing?
Well, as a youngster coming through the TAC and also open age, I was 18 playing seniors at Parkside, and
Yep.
Phil O'Keefe learnt a lot for him in Shepherd Bottom that year as a youngster playing open age. Coming through the ranks, Barry Prendergast at Werribee, he was an outstanding coach. I learned a lot from him just with my development. So there's been quite a few influences over the career.
Oh, good stuff.
Mate, the depth of the club, Deer Park, obviously at juniors the last few years, struggled a few years ago to field juniors, but got, I think the last 2 or 3 years, good under 18s. The kids coming through the reserves, there's some good depth coming through the club when need be.
Well, the key was, when I got recruited to the club, first thing I asked about was the depth, and they said it was a bit iffy, so we really worked hard on the recruitment over pre-season, and the twos haven't dropped a game yet, and I've probably played 3 under 18 kids so far this year.
Good.
And I'll just keep rotating them throughout the year. They've got some really good kids coming through. I know the under 16 squad's going to be pretty strong over the next couple of years. And like I said, there's probably half a dozen under 18 kids that will probably play seniors this year throughout the year.
Mate, you touched on before just complacency. Now, no secret, I think we're into round 5 coming up of the Division 2. You're doing it reasonably easy. Is there a time throughout the year, and we spoke to your father Nick on the radio Saturday afternoon about a time where you might have to give him a foot in the backside, or just, the complacency may set in a little bit? Is that a concern at this stage of the year, or worry about when it happens?
Well, there was a bit of a concern halfway through the second quarter on the weekend.
Yeah.
The boys were just turning the footy over, just being a bit clumsy. They copped a bit of a spray, so when it's required, we'll make sure we're onto it straight away.
Good.
No, it's good stuff. It's fantastic to have you back in the competition. What was your worry that Division 2 was below where you wanted to play, the standard footy that you wanted to play? Was that your only problem?
Yeah, that was my major concern. I thought I still had a couple of good years left of Division 1 footy, and playing the Bendigo League last year was a pretty strong league, and done all right up there, and had a few mates that play in the Eastern District League. I was tempted to go back there, but like I said, the coaching opportunity come up, and it was just too good to knock back. And it might take us 1-2 years to get back up to Div 1, but
I was going to ask, what's the expectation?
The
What's your
expectations
expectation?
are, like I said to Goldie, we'll just take it 1 week at a time. I'm not too familiar with the other sides in the competition, like Wyndham Vale,
We've got Auburn there's going to be a few parks.
Your old parks, I was going to say your old...
The old mob, they'll be, they had a few out the first time we played them, but I'm sure they'll bounce back. So the competition, I'm sure, will get a lot better the second half of the year.
Yep. Well, look, good luck for the rest of the season. It's fantastic to have you back in the competition. Quality bloke, and great to have your dad involved in the competition again too, because he is one of the great footy heads of the Western Suburbs, I reckon. Good to see you, Jim.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being on the program,
James,
mate.
good stuff.
We'll come back and talk to Nathan Evans from Wyndham Vale next. This is the Wrfl Internet TV show. I'm Kevin Hillier, with me Steve Tom. And our next guest on the program is Nathan Evans, the footy manager of the Wyndham Vale Falcons, who are flying after 4 rounds. Mate, you must be a happy boy the way the club's going at the moment.
Yeah, the Falcons are flying. We're doing all right. And, it's good to be alive, I suppose.
Look, it's fantastic, the improvement that's come around the club both on and off the field in the last probably 3 or 4 years has just been sensational. Luke Dennerley, you brought Luke in as coach, a premiership player from the Spotswood Footy Club, and the improvements have been enormous.
Yeah, well, there was no hiding the fact that when about 3 or 4 years ago when I took over as coach, we were pretty low on the ranks, and we decided to just cut all ties with any way we had operated in the past and start fresh. So we built from really the ground up, and not just started in our seniors and our reserves. We started from our under-9s and worked a lot through our reaped the benefits of having these kids come through. I think we've got 17 junior sides in the comp this year, and really making sure that we've got a future to come back, not just for the next couple of years, but probably 7, 8 or 10 years into the future. And that's blooded well into our seniors. Now we've got a group of probably 19 to 22-year-olds that have played probably 20 or 30 games together, which hoping in the next 12 months that turns into 50 or 60. And that's what we think, me and Luke and the rest of the coaching staff, think is going to build a good nucleus for a good side.
Evo, with the players, you're talking about new players, kids coming through. As a match committee coaching staff, did you have to tinker with the game plan, team rules over summer? I mean, sometimes you get better quality players, you can adjust it, go the next level, just keep building up.
Yeah, we did in a way. We went pretty hard recruiting. I think it's no secret that not just us, but every club tries to recruit pretty well. And we've started basically in June last year our recruiting, so we knew where we were deficient, we knew what we wanted. But at the same price, the same token, we didn't really want to put a price on anyone's head. We wanted to make sure they enjoyed the club before they talked anything about money or anything like that. So we're keen to get people on board and the right people, and with their game plan, we've just fitted around the group we've had. We didn't try to find a player that we already had. We made sure everyone that we've got kept their spot, and then we recruited on that. So we knew we needed a centre-half forward, so we got a centre-half forward in Big Keisha and a few of the others. So we really wanted to make sure that the holes that we've got, they're the ones we filled. We're not trying to replace players we've already got.
And just asked Jimmy Kondos earlier on the depth of the club at the moment, the reserves and that travelling all right?
Yeah, really good. I think the reserves might be second on the ladder behind Deer
good.
Park, I think. So, and I think they only dropped the Wrfl game. Depth is great. I think we've got the largest list in both Div 1 and Div 2. We've got 79 players on our list, so we've got a lot of depth, and in that's a lot of kids. But it was good to get some. So the guys that are a bit my age come back in the twos and want to enjoy their footy. They're still really good players. Just found over the last 3 or 4 years they just didn't want to play. Just wanted to concentrate on work and family and the likes. Now they're a bit more easy in their life. They've had their couple of kids. They've shut up shop in that department, so they've decided to come back and play footy for the next couple of years. So yeah, it's been really good.
And yourself, Evo, I mean, you'll go around for another 10 years. You really, obviously, a few years ago when you were coaching, obviously you had a reason why you didn't play football for a couple of years. You got back into it. You seem fitter than I've seen you for, I'd say, the last 5 or 6 years easily.
Yeah, it's just because I enjoy my footy now. Obviously coaching, then I did my knee, so that was a big reason why not to play, obviously. And now just being around the younger fellas, they sort of give you a bit of a life, and it helps with Luke with the revised training plan for. He said guys over 30, but I made that 29. So I do enjoy my footy these days, and it's what it's about, really, winning games and getting that elusive premiership. I've played in 4 losing grand finals, so it's about winning one. So hopefully that's this year, maybe next year, whenever it comes.
Yep. A couple of off-field things I wanted to talk to you about. A terrific story in the local press last week about one of your sponsors donating a defibrillator for the club because he heard about the boy that unfortunately passed away in Sylvan. So I thought he ask you guys to take us through the story with that.
Yeah, basically Don Amitis, our major sponsor from Cad's Hire, great place, hire all your lifting gear. He was reading the local papers and found that, reading Herald Sun and found that a kid died out in the local country footy, and just thought straight up that it shouldn't happen for the sake of, I think it's $3,000 for a defibrillator. He said it just shouldn't happen. There's no price put on anyone, and he's really got a close-knit relationship with most guys at the club now. He's there most nights, and he loves it. He just thought he couldn't stand there and basically feel that he could have been responsible by not purchasing one if someone come. It wasn't something we put on him to do. It was something he decided to come to us. Us as a club actually had put a like a purchase order thing in to buy one for the 2012 season, and he come up and said that he was going to do it, and obviously we opened it with welcome arms, and we're trying to push now for most clubs in the WRFL to have one. If you've got one just inside every club rooms on game day, it just makes it a hell of a lot easier. And look, hopefully you never have to use it. That's the plan, but if you do, at least it's going to be there. So it's just a huge bonus for our guys.
And you had a heart problem, didn't you, at one stage?
Yeah.
Because I remember famously, you remember Tony Shebeki was calling the game, and in the middle of the call he said, it's not bad for a bloke who's had a heart attack. And I think we almost had one because we didn't know anything about that story about you.
Yeah, when I was 21, I'd come off doing a couple of pre-seasons, did one at the Bulldogs and then at Werribee in the VFL, and I decided to have a year off in footy. And my brother said, come down and just try to stay fit, and talked me into playing footy, and I didn't do nothing for about 4 months. And yeah, basically from there, I did my first pre-season. It was 38 degrees, and the coach at the time had us piggybacking guys up a hill, and I felt a bit faint and a bit shitty, and excuse the language, and then I tried to walk home after training and basically collapsed, and that's all I remember for about probably a day and a half, and then had a coronary artery spasm is what they put it down to, and so it's pretty close to me. I was pretty happy when the club. And proud of the club when Donnie come and said that he was going to donate the defibrillator, so it was really good.
The other thing I want to talk to you about is, and we're recording this internet TV show in the Tigers clubhouse, which is pretty fitting because you just picked up a huge, big Happy Gilmore cheque from them.
Yeah, the clubhouse are an absolute sensational place to drink, party, go to the pokies, eat your meals, have a function, have a soft drink, whatever it is. Look, Mark Penaluna and Julie in the clubhouse here said to us a couple of years ago when we asked for a sponsorship, no problem, and we got on board with the Beyond Blue stuff with Werribee Footy Club when we had Lawrence Anglin down at the club, which went really well, and we just built from there. And they come to us last year and said, like they did every other club, about the scheme with the
Sports Assist
scheme. So it was more so we're putting back into the sponsors. So we jumped on board straight away and said, well, we've got a bunch of guys that enjoy a jar of neck oil every now and then, and so we just told them to come down here and have a drink, and we ran a couple of functions here. I think we've got 148 members here at this club. It's directly associated with Winnenvale, and that just paid off in the long run. We didn't know how much it would be and how good it would be, but then a month ago, whatever it was, when they divvied up all the tallies and the votes, and we ended up with 23,000 of it, so we were quite happy with that, and it's a big injection of cash funds into the club, and it's going to go a long way, like with the sports club just being appointed and the juniors and seniors all now as one, which is what we really wanted. It's certainly going to go a long way in building our junior side, and we're trying to get up and running a junior development program with for recruiting for the Western Jets and Port Melbourne and Werribee in the VFL, and it's going to go a long way in helping pay for some of those things.
Oh, good stuff. Good on you, Evo. Good to have you on the program.
No worries.
One of the great media performers in the WRFL. You're on it every 5 minutes. If you're not texting me, you're on the phone or you're doing something else. No, terrific, mate, and good luck for the rest of the season for you and the Falcons. Let's hope it's a successful one for you and Luke.
Thanks very much.
More to come on the WRFL internet TV show after this. Welcome back to the WRFL Internet TV show. I'm Kevin Hill. Here with me now is John Toon from Fit Health, one of our new partners into the WRFL. Welcome.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here.
It's good to have you on board, but I guess the first and most obvious question is, what is Fit?
What is Fit? Well, Fit Health Insurance has recently just launched in conjunction with the AFL to bring a private health insurance product that's specifically designed for footy players and to hopefully reduce out-of-pocket expenses that they might have.
Now, we've got a lot of footy players and football people watching this right now. What's the benefits in it? It's obviously tailored specifically for footballers.
Yeah, that's correct. So JLT is obviously does personal insurance for all the clubs, but what happens if they were to have a major injury? They can actually have huge out-of-pocket expenses after JLT pays out. So that's where Fit kind of actually fits in, is that it'll hopefully help reduce from thousands of dollars out of pocket to just maybe a couple $100 out of pocket if they were to be admitted into hospital.
Okay, can you give us for instance, we talked to a couple of boys there, Nathan Evans talked about doing his knee or his shoulder. What sort of expenses are we looking at in those areas?
Well, a shoulder reconstruction can be quite large. Actually, I have a template here that says a shoulder reconstruction is the average cost if you're admitted privately is about $7,500. The most expensive one that we had in the last 12 months, it was upwards of about $16,000, and JLT covered some of that, but still left an out-of-pocket of about $4,500. But if they would have had fit, it would have just been a few $100s out of pocket.
So there's that big a difference. I mean, you're talking about a difference of $4,000, literally.
Yeah, absolutely. And if they choose privately, they can actually get into the system quicker. If they go through the public system, there can be large out-of-pocket or large waiting periods that they could go through up to 2 to 3 years to get a knee reco.
So the advantage is not only in the money side of it; it's also in the get me right quick side of it.
That's correct. Yeah, absolutely.
And I guess the obvious question on the back of that is, how much does it cost? I mean, if you're going to be saving that kind of money, there's obviously there's an expense in there somewhere.
Yeah, the cost does vary, but if you were to compare Fit Health Insurance to, say, the 3 big health funds out there, we're very competitive in our pricing. But however, when you look into the guts of the product, it's actually paying a lot more benefits back to the members.
And John, you've got a great incentive plan available for the WRFL clubs?
Yes, we do. Currently, if a club can either join or transfer existing members to Fit, and for every 20 new members that come over to Fit, we'll give the club itself $4,500, and every 10 after that, we'll actually give them half that amount, which is $2,250 for every 10 after that. So we could actually raise thousands of dollars for a club. So if we got 80 members to come over, which I'm sure a lot of clubs have well over 400 to 600 members, we could raise upwards of $20,000 for that club.
$20,000 is what the man said, and for the initial one, $4,500 for how many members?
20.
20. So not a big ask, really, is it?
No, it's quite easy. Yes.
And for WRFL people who are watching this, players, and how do they go about getting involved and getting this coverage?
Yeah, well, we would firstly like them to at least give us an opportunity if they're thinking about health insurance or switching from their current health insurer, is to give us a call on our call center, which is open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. And they can call us on 1-300-FIT-111 or even visit us on our website at www.fithealthinsurance.com.au.
And can I ask you how many players you've got involved at the moment?
How many
How many players in clubs and organisations?
Well, basically, being affiliated with the AFL, we're associated with all the leagues in Victoria. Specifically, we have a great partnership with the WRFL currently. So, if anybody wants to talk to us, I'm actually happy to come down and talk to the clubs.
Oh, fantastic. So there you go. That's a great opportunity to a great product, and it's going to save you $4,000 on a shoulder reconstruction. You'd be an idiot not to be involved in it. John, thanks for being part of our internet TV show, and everyone jump on the website or get on the phone and have a chat.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much.
Good on you. Welcome back to the final segment of the WRFL Internet Television Show. And a couple of things we want to get through, Tomsy, here is the ladders for the Division 1 and Division 2 and the under-18s as well. And also a reminder about the interleague programs, the under-12s and 13s. They've got a round-robin competition against the RDFL and the EDFL. That's on Sunday the 12th of June. All these details, of course, will be up on the website, which has been all revamped this year. The under-14s and 15s, the Metro Championships, they've got their first round on the 1st of June, and they play again on June the 11th, and round 3 on the 13th of June across the long weekend. The 16s and 18s will take on the Riddle District League at Avalon Airport Oval at Werribee on the 7th of June. That's Tuesday night, and the EDFL on Friday the 10th of June at Deer Park. They're both night games starting at 6 o'clock for the 16s and 18s. All the training details are up on the website as well, so if you're involved in the interleague, and I think it's a really important thing that the young players get a chance to represent the WRFL.
I think it's very important that your players, if they've been asked to come down and even train, push them along, get them down there. It's the greatest thing they can do. Unfortunately, sometimes in the past, a couple of players may have been held back, and I don't think that's right on the kids themselves.
Yep.
Get them down there to let them enjoy their football at a very high standard in the interleague games.
Let them test themselves against the best that other competitions have got. That's how you find out where you're at. Now, the Division 1 ladder, St Albans on top on 12 points. This is, of course, after 3 rounds. Spotty on 12 points. North Footscray on 8. Isn't that good to see?
Yeah, great. Won the first 2. How easy's Divi 1 North Footscray? They were saying.
Albion, the reigning premiers, on 8 points, and Altona on 8 points. They make up the 5. Then Port Melbourne, Sunshine Heights, Hoppers Crossing, Sunshine. 3 games, no wins. Much touted pre-season. We saw them last weekend in the game against St Albans, and we were disappointed.
Yeah, we were disappointed. Make no mistake, there's a few changes, I think, in the structure of their game plan that needs to be changed a little bit. They're the coaches, they know what's going on, but I think they held themselves back a little bit last Saturday, what we've seen.
Division 2, Deer Park on top. We spoke to Jimmy Kondos earlier in the program, on 16 points, undefeated at this stage with a massive percentage of 448. Then Wyndham Vale, the Falcons on 12, Auburn Vale on 12, Coburg on 8, and making up the 5, Laverton on 8. Just out with 1 win so far, Parkside, Yarraville Seddon Eagles, Braybrook, West Footscray and Caroline Springs, and North Sunshine on the bottom of the ladder at the moment without a win, but have improved dramatically.
Yeah, definitely so. And, you know, good, as I said to these bottom clubs, they've worked as hard as a few of the top clubs over the summer months, and, you know, for them to pick up 4 or 5 new players, it's a big plus for them.
Yeah, good stuff. The under-18 competition, Division 1, St Albans on top on 12 with Altona on 12, Hoppers on 8, Sunshine Heights on 8, making up the 5 at the moment, Sunshine on 4 points, then Spotty and Albion both on 4 points in North Footscray, and the under-18 Bs, Point Cook on top with 16 points, they're undefeated, then Parkside on 12, Hoppers on 12, Deer Park on 12, Wyndham Vale on 12, and outside the 5 at the moment, Auburn Vale, Caroline Springs, Altona and St Albans. So they're the ladders. Also want to remind you about the Wrfl footy record that's back for the home and away season. It has been many years since we've had a footy record for the home and away season, so make sure you, when you get to the games, that you grab a hold of one of those. Thanks, Tomsy.
Thanks, Kev.
Thanks to our guests, Nathan Evans, Jason Cloak and Jimmy Kondos, and also the Fit Health people. Fantastic to have them on. We'll have a new show up in about 3 or 4 weeks' time. We'll catch you then, but make sure you get out and see some local footy and support the local football.